I do not contract with this court. This state is a party in the case and not a living entity. So therefore, it is a conflict of interest, and that I ask that you recuse yourself from this case and it go to Supreme Court.
You don't think I'm a living entity?
Before we get back into the hearing, Sharon Kerani was facing two simple traffic violations: driving without liability insurance and driving without registration. But when she came to court, the hearing quickly became about something else: her name, her status as a living person, claims about the state, and a demand for the judge to recuse himself. Now, with that context in mind, let's get back into the hearing.
On the record in BU 2025 TR 2191, State of Kansas versus Sharon Kerani, Joseph Baka for the state. Defendant appears in person and pro se.
Before we get back into the hearing, here's some context. This case involves Sharon Kerani, who is facing two traffic-related charges in Kansas: driving without liability insurance and driving without vehicle registration. Court records show the case is filed as a B misdemeanor matter. During this hearing, Sharon appears without an attorney. With that background in mind, let's get back into the hearing.
Any chance I'm pronouncing your last name right, ma'am?
No.
All right, how should I pronounce it?
So it is Kerani, and
Kerani, okay.
yes. And I am stating my name for the record that I am the living person, Sharon Kerani, not the person, not the entity in all caps that is here in question today.
All right. Well, I don't have anyone in all caps. I just have one in traditional styles. So I think we're on the same page, Ms. Kerani. You are here today. You told me back December 31st to 25, you were going to look into diversion, and you were given the information on how to do that. You were given an OR bond of $1,000. Somehow you posted a $2,500 bond. Maybe you had a failure to appear along the way. Let me look. In any event, did you apply for diversion?
Well, Your Honor, I do not contract with this court. This state is a party in the case and not a living entity. So therefore, it is a conflict of interest, and that I ask that you recuse yourself from this case and it go to Supreme Court.
You don't think I'm a living entity?
The state.
Why should I recuse myself?
It is the state versus the state. It is a conflict of interest.
No, it's not the state versus the state.
Well, the state versus myself.
No, that's not a conflict of interest for me, so I'm not going to recuse myself. All right, so you didn't apply for diversion, right?
I don't even have this vehicle.
Okay, so you're charged with operating a vehicle without liability insurance, a B misdemeanor. I would remind you that carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in the county jail and $1,000 fine. Probation is an option. There is a minimum fine of $300.
Before we get back into the hearing, driving without liability insurance and without registration are violations enforced in every state. Some people accept responsibility, some people fight the charges, and some try arguments that courts have rejected for years. Now, with that legal context in mind, let's get back into the hearing.
That's basically driving without insurance. And then there's count 2. I would remind you that that's driving without registration. The fine could be as high as $2,500. It's usually much less, but it could go up to $2,500. And the sentence is anywhere from 30 days to 6 months, but probation is an option there too. Now, let me ask you, if you're going to hire an attorney, you do have the right to hire an attorney. And because you're looking at a B misdemeanor up to 6 months in jail, although it's not usually granted, you still could apply for court appointed if you cannot afford to hire an attorney. So you intend to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed or represent yourself?
Hire an attorney.
Do you have any idea what attorney you're going to hire?
I do not.
How much time do you think you are going to need to hire an attorney?
30 days.
All right. I will give you time to hire an attorney, but I expect you to get out there and hire that attorney. And if you can't afford to hire that attorney, come back to the court, get an application for court appointed. What I do not want you to do What I'm ordering you not to do is to ignore the opportunity to get an attorney and then come in and say at the next court date, well, now I want to start all over with an attorney.
Before we get back into the hearing, driving without liability insurance and without registration are violations enforced in every state. Some people accept responsibility, some people fight the charges, and some try arguments that courts have rejected for years. Now, with that legal context in mind, let's get back into the hearing.
You know, this is your chance to get an attorney. Don't use it as a delay tactic, in other words. Not saying that you would, but you'd be surprised at how many people would. All right, then, when are we going to set this one over to clerk so she can look into hiring an attorney?
August 31st, Your Honor.
Can you be back here, Ms. Kerani, August 31st, 9 a.m. by Zoom?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I will continue this at your request to have time to hire an attorney. I will continue the $2,500 surety bond that you posted March 31st of 2026 with the added condition that you and your attorney appear here August 31st at 9 a.m. Mr. Baka, anything further from the state?
Don't believe there's anything further from the state, Your Honor.
Ms. Kerani, anything further from the defense?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for your time. You may go.
Thank you.
From today's hearing. You're welcome.
The judge didn't recuse herself. She didn't acknowledge Sharon Kerani's argument about conflict of interest. She simply said no, and then she explained the charges. 6 months maximum for operating without insurance. Up to $2,500 fine for no registration. Probation is an option. Sharon Kerani had one choice to make: get an attorney. The judge was clear about it. I will give you time to hire an attorney, but I expect you to get out there and hire that attorney. And she warned her, don't come back and say you want to start over with an attorney later. This is your chance. Use it now. In 30 days, she'll be back in court via Zoom, either with an attorney she hired on her own or with a court-appointed attorney if she can't afford one. The sovereign citizen arguments didn't work. The conflict of interest claim didn't work. The demand to recuse the judge didn't work. But that doesn't mean the case is over. It means it's just beginning. August 31st, that's when Sharon Kerani gets her next chance to address the charges. Not the system, the charges, and a judge who knows exactly what she's doing.